Hey! You are listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys? Got to take care of a few things before we jump into this week's episode. First, our Ramping Isometrics for BJJ program. It is a 12-week program, all laid out for you. It's going to help you build strength and cardio in the fastest, safest, and most convenient way possible. This is how James and I have been training for the past year, and we love it. So we put this program together so you can just follow along, and we are certain you will see and feel the benefits that we do. It's only $15. Just go to grumpyguybjj.com, click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll find it. Next, R3. This is our K2 D3 supplement. It is a combination of those two vitamins, D3 and K2. These are two vitamins that James and I have been taking for a long time that really help us recover from hard training sessions. And for only $15 with free shipping, you get a whole month's supply. I was going to pull up some studies explaining the benefits of D3 and K2, but I'm not going to insult your intelligence and pretend to be a fucking scientist. I take it. It helps me recover. That's it. So for $15, check it out. And last but certainly not least, we have partnered up with Jiu-Jitsu.com. They have a ton of awesome BJJ instructionals, and they have hooked us up with a discount code for our listeners. It's Grumpy10. So what you got to do is you go to Jiu-Jitsu.com, which is DIGITSU.com. Find the instructionals you want, throw them in a shopping cart. In the little discount code box, you type in Grumpy10, which is just GRUMPY and the number 10. 10. That's it. No spaces. Boom. You get 10% off. You're up and running. They got a nice app you can download on your phone. That way you can take your instructionals right to the gym with you, watch the technique, drill it. It's a pretty sweet setup. So once again, DIGITSU.com. Discount code Grumpy10, GRUMPY10. Simple as that. To find all this stuff I just got done talking about, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com. Click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner. There, you'll subscribe to our newsletter for podcast updates. You'll find links for the Ramping ISOs program, the R3 recovery supplement, and then under the programs and products tab, you'll find a link to Jiu-Jitsu.com. And let's be honest, if you guys can't figure out how to navigate a website by now, there's nothing I can do to help you. So quit fucking around, check it out, train hard, and let's get into this week's episode. 3 and... Here we are.
Boom.
Let's see.
This will be episode Jackson laying on the microphone. That's all good.
What episode
I was
will
waiting,
this
man. I
be?
could tell he was going to do something.
I think this will be episode 142.
Wow.
It feels like it would be episode 340.
Well, it's not.
It's not. 142.
142.
And I'll try not to put the intro music over top of us talking this time.
Okay.
But anyways.
We'll try to say something worth not missing.
So,
Because the intro is being recorded.
Yeah, if we would have put the intro
there.
over this, we're not really missing anything.
No.
Anyways.
Yeah.
but
So,
the Pokemon update would be something that
that's true.
That is true.
Pokemon
is
update.
not worth missing.
Okay, so.
Okay,
What's
on.
the
so
Pokemon update?
I'll show you. It's a Zakanian V. I think it's the one that everyone is looking for. I heard on YouTube before in the Grand Valley Jiu-Jitsu that there is one Zakanian V that everyone is looking for. And I remember that it looked something like this because the people got it.
Okay.
Its attacks are... Well, it has an ability, Intrepid Sword, and its attack is Brave Blade, which does 230 damage. Its weakness is Fire type. It does 20 plus damage. And its resistance is 30. I mean, it's grass. It does 30 minus damage.
Sweet.
Okay. It's got 220 hit points. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's a metal type. It is a basic.
So it's not even involved in anything, huh?
I don't think the Canadian V evolved into anything.
Okay.
except for the Caning V Max.
All right. Well, there we go. Pokemon update.
That
You got
was-
some new Pokemons. What did we do that last weekend? I got you a new pack. It had been a while
I
since
did-
we had some new Pokemon
I did
cards.
get some. I did get a V Max, which is like a really rare type of card.
Cool.
It's like this V, but it has a small max right here. It says max right here,
Sweet.
and the max kind of looks rainbow.
All right, man. So you're gonna tell us about your
Oh yeah. I can do. What was it?
algebra?
I can do algebra equations.
Can you really?
Dad taught me because I know that 25. No, that third. What did I say that 30 minus 5 equals 25, or 25 plus 5 equals 30? What did I say?
Well, that was so he was doing some homework, and the thing was like, what is, they said like, oh, these people have 30 and these people have 25, who won and by how many points. And so he had it down, and I was like, they want to see your work. So what is the equation that tells you that? How do you know that? And he was like, well, I just know that 30 is 5 more than 25.
And then
I'm like, I mean, that's fucking algebra, you know what I mean? He basically did 25 plus x equals 30 and figured out that x equals 5. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, do I tell you that that's wrong? Because that's not wrong. Because I know what they're looking for. They wanted you to put 30 minus 25 equals 5.
Right.
So, so I was like, no, I'm just going to tell you how to write down the equation the way you just told me, which is 25 plus x equals 30, and then x equals 5. Like, that's what you said. So, I mean, that is algebra. That's all algebra is.
Yep.
And, yeah, but, yeah, that's his,
Hey.
it's funny, man, like, because you realize, like, oh, man, kids kind of think that way. But, you need that foundation of pluses and minuses and stuff to understand it. But that was an interesting moment for me as a parent. I'm like, he's not wrong, but he's not telling them what they want to hear.
That's not what they want to hear.
So do I tell him that he's wrong, and then when like the way that he's thinking about it is actually like pretty cool. Like hey man, that's great. You're thinking non-linearly, which is
Good.
more creative. Yeah, that's how humans are made to think. We're not calculators. So.
And also, I got a new bike stunt game on my Kindle, and I learned how to do like front flips in it.
Sweet.
So if I get a big enough jump, I can go like do a double one, almost a triple backflip and land it.
Sweet.
Well, right on, man. Well, thanks for the updates. Go get some food.
I'm starving.
You guys got to go see Tita at her booth.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
Shiloh got an art booth.
yes. Shiloh's at her art booth right now.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
She had to leave at 7:50, I think. What was it? 7:30, whatever.
7. I had to leave at 7. So, yeah, she's got her art booth. I guess the Fruita Chamber of Commerce has a booth that they have there, and it's to showcase local artists. And so each week a new artist can sign up to go to the booth and display their stuff. And so, was it a few weeks ago, she saw one of her friends there that was doing that, and she was talking to her about it, and then she was like, oh yeah, you can do it too. So she checked into it and got signed up for this weekend. And
Heck yeah, it's exciting.
yeah, no, it's a big step to go from to have your art on display. I mean, anytime.
Sure, it's a little nerve wracking for her.
Yeah. And she's pretty excited.
Was she?
Yeah, I was glad. She was way more excited than nervous about it. So we were talking going there, like the idea is not, we talked about like, you can sell some of your stuff, but that's not the focus. The focus is, really more like getting comfortable with approaching people and talking to people about your art. And then she has her website that she's got her newsletter. So she's got a newsletter sign up sheet, and I was like, have a little thing, sign up for a free custom art piece. Somebody she'll draw a winner and contact them, and they can commission an art piece, say what they want her to draw, and she'll do it for them. So that's the goal. It's just get, socialize a little bit with your art and grow your newsletter list. And if you happen to sell some stuff, great. If not, don't worry about it, because you got plenty of time. She's 15, so it's will probably be the first of many opportunities for her.
It's awesome.
So yeah, it is. It is cool. It's funny, man. When I was leaving the booth, I was thinking like, this is like one of those moments, where you're like, it's I don't know what the word is. It's it's a subtle moment, but it's like it really signals something big, because she's 15. Like my little girl who started out like drawing fangs on everything, like has an art booth, and this is like. I don't know. Like I said,
it's a big step.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, I guess I don't know what I could liken it to, but it is, and I don't know exactly what word, like a little transitionary period, but that doesn't quite sum it up. But it's kind of a big first.
Yeah. She's not a little girl anymore.
No.
She's growing up, and this is an important step towards that. Growing up is having her first art deal. So. That's but yeah, I'm glad I got to go help her out. It's funny, I let her kind of set things up, and then she did a pretty good job. It was a little I guess not organized quite as well as it could be, so that people could really like see her art and appreciate it. So I was like, well, you want to know, I might have a couple suggestions. She's like, yeah, please, what do you think? So it it was fun. It was good going setting that up with her today. And but yeah, Kayla's gonna go hang out with her and check it out. And I know my mom's gonna go see her. She's got some other people that I know will stop by, so should be a good, positive experience for her. It's a nice morning for it.
Yeah, it is a nice morning. Weather finally broke. We had a nice yesterday, and today it looked like it's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
After it rained most of the week, I was in snow down in Telluride Tuesday and Thursday. Man, it was snowing and raining pretty good.
Yeah.
Snowing thunderstorm on Tuesday. That was really cool.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's like I didn't really think about it until just like I kind of stood there, was looking around, like I was explaining to you guys. It was cloudy and kind of smoky. It was snowing pretty dang good, and it was thundering. And I was like, man, not too many times in your life do I remember being in a thunder snowstorm.
Right.
It just doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And then there was some lightning here and there. And it was, being that it was clouds and smoky, the lightning was behind the clouds, so it was kind of like backlighting them.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. I stood there for a little bit just kind of watching it and checking it out. I was like, oh, it's not something you see on a regular basis.
No. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, freaking finally weather broke though. That swing was crazy. I mean, it went from like high 90s to 40s
in
like
one
day.
On Monday, which was Labor Day.
Yeah,
it was almost 100 degrees.
Yep.
And then Tuesday, I think the high was 40 something.
Yeah.
60-degree swing.
Yeah.
And then it stayed pretty chilly the past, Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday.
Yeah.
And finally,
it stuck around for a bit.
I mean, it's still kind of chilly in the morning now. Anyway, it was only in the 40s this morning. And I'm out walking Frank. I was like, oh, I gotta put a sweatshirt on.
I know. I was starting to complain yesterday morning. I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? It's not winter yet. Like, it was winter weather, just all wet and cold. And it's like, man, I'm not ready for this yet. I need some more sun. And so glad it finally broke. I mean, that smoke moved in for a while too.
Yep.
It's fucking crazy. That's still all the wildfires around here get taken care of. But now I got the smoke from California and shit rolling in. And again, like, I've lived here for a few years, and I mean, I've seen the smoke from California wildfires come in before, but not like this.
That was thick, man.
Thick as fuck. Yeah.
It threw me for a loop because what was that? Was that Tuesday morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I know, like, the wildfire that was filling our valley with smoke.
Pine Gulch.
Pine Gulch has been pretty well contained. If not, it's out now.
Yeah.
But even on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, why is it so smoky? It's like, I don't think, did that thing flare back up?
Right, yeah.
And I didn't even, and I got busy, was doing work at work that day, and then I realized, like, oh, by the end of the day, I was like, this is the California wildfires.
Yeah.
And they are having some huge wildfires. I got to do an interesting discussion with somebody. I'm going to bring this up to you. So did you see that I don't know what part of the fire it was, but part of the wildfire there in California got started by a family doing a gender reveal party? You didn't see this? So they were at a park, and nowadays you've seen young couples doing these gender reveal parties to where this couple decided they were going to light off some sort of smoke bomb, fireworkish type thing in this open field. There's already a bunch of wildfires going on, everything's dry as shit, and you think this is a good idea? And so they lit off their gender reveal smoke, and it started a brush fire, and it just everything was so dry, it just took off.
Yeah.
And that was the start of another big fire. And the last article I read is that they're going to prosecute these people, like millions of dollars in fines, possibly jail and prison time. And so then I got thinking about it. I was like, okay, that was ignorant. That was flat out. Let's just say that was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
God, people are fucking dumb, man. I think most people just think, oh, it's not gonna happen to us. It's not gonna happen to me. They don't prepare for the worst. Like, let me give you an example. I'm not patting myself on the back, but I think that's how people should think. So, a couple weeks back, when the wildfire was going pretty good here, I wanted to go out to the desert, shoot my new handgun a little bit. And so I knew I was hesitant. I was like, should I even be doing this?
Yeah.
So when I got out there, I made sure where I was going to shoot was, I'm not shooting tracer rounds or anything. And I'm not shooting exploding targets. I'm shooting fucking cardboard box and paper targets. And I made sure there was no brush around that I was even going to get close to. And I brought my fire extinguisher. I have a fire extinguisher at my house. I put it in my car, and I took it out and I set it on the ground next to me. That way, if something does happen, I can be on it right away. Like, prepare. Don't be a fucking retard, man. I'm sorry. I think that's what it is. Most people are just so goddamn ignorant and lazy.
Ill-prepared.
Yeah, ill-prepared for shit. Yeah. So I got talking to somebody. We were ranting about this. And, man, it was dumb. It was completely a mistake. They didn't do it intentionally.
Yeah.
So how much trouble should they get in? If I was on a jury, I couldn't send them to prison for it. I wouldn't feel right. They don't deserve to go to prison for it.
Depends. What race are they?
I asked. I didn't look.
Okay.
I didn't want to be biased. Honestly, I asked this. I didn't.
If they're white, they may be.
Oh, they're gonna get fucked.
Be in trouble. If they're just a regular white,
like us,
normal gender. If it's like people of color, and it's the guy is actually the girl. You know what I mean? You have a two transgender people who have. You know what I mean? If that's the case,
they won't get in trouble.
They'll be celebrated for the whole thing. It's actually our mistake.
That's
for
right. It was the systemic racism of the fire department that couldn't put it out in time.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, sorry. It's funny that you got to ask, man, but it does play a fucking role, man. I could see in this climate a white couple facing a harsher, at least attempt at punishment than a couple that's not.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me at all. But what do you think? I mean, like I said,
I think that's way too harsh.
They shouldn't. They can't go to prison for that. No. I mean, that's.
I think that if you can claim as fucking Speaker of the House that you didn't realize that fucking hair salons were closed in your hometown, and nothing really happened to you about that, you can claim you were set up. I would claim I was set up by the fucking field. Or something.
The park department.
Yeah.
Parks department didn't have a fire extinguisher readily available for me.
There was no sign right there in that field that said not to do this, man. So you can't hold me responsible for knowing the rules. If the Speaker of the fucking House, the fucking bitch, Nancy Pelosi, doesn't have to know the rules in her own town, like, why do any of us have to know any of the rules? I don't understand that. So that's I think I think they should be punished. I mean, I think.
But to what extent? You know, because there
needs to be a deterrent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There
and that's the fucking thing, man. Again, like, not trying to, like, but there needs to be a deterrent, but it needs to be appropriate to the. You don't want to ruin someone's fucking life.
That's what I'm getting at, because the article I read, you know, they were just stating like the possible maximums, you know, like 9 years in prison and millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, they talk about the max stuff.
Yeah, they always talk about the max stuff. Like, dude, you can't financially ruin somebody. Like, dude, I mean, if they're, I don't know who these people are, but let's just assume they're just a normal blue collar working family.
Yeah.
Do you even slap them with, you know, $1 million fine?
$1 million is ridiculous.
Dude, what are they gonna do? How are they ever gonna?
Man, I would have like community service.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, I would have community service and a fine. I mean, there needs to be a deterrent. Like, you do need to know the rules.
Yep.
Like, ignorance is not an excuse, and if your ignorance causes harm, then, like, there needs to be a deterrent to make other people a little more motivated to be less ignorant.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, again, I'll talk about my own self. Like, I cut down, actually had our buddy Luke cut down an aspen tree for me.
Mm-hmm.
He needed the firewood, but he left a bunch of the brush and stuff he didn't want. Well, I got a burn barrel. I need to burn it. Well, so I got it all organized and put it over in the corner of my yard where I'm going to do it. But then I was like, man, should I? And I got a burn barrel. I got a grate that goes on top to keep embers from flying out, really small, fine. Again, be safe as possible. I was like, but what are the fire regulations right now? What are, you know? And so, boom, you go to the county website. Oh, no, we're in a stage 1 fire ban. You can't have any sort of, I mean, you can have a grill. The only fire you can have a fire pit if it has a gas source so you can turn the fuel off.
Yeah.
But you can't have a wood burning fire pit. You can't do anything. It's like, cool, man. I piled it all up. I'll have it ready to go when the fire ban is lifted.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
be responsible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that difficult. It took me 5 minutes to understand what the rules are, to not, because, like, would I feel safe? Like, yeah, how I had it set up, I feel like I could do it safely, but still, it's not within the fucking rules.
Yeah.
Like, let's stop being an asshole, man.
Yeah. But I mean, that's like, on 4th of July, like, technically, no one was supposed to be setting off fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, we set off fireworks. Everybody was setting off fireworks. So, I think, you know, doing it safely, like doing it here in the neighborhood where there's fucking water hoses right there. We're not setting off giant things, you know. It's so that's a different scenario than going out into the middle of the desert and setting off fireworks you brought back from Wyoming.
Right.
You know, like that's so. I think that there's that you can look at the rules and say, like, all right, I understand what the intention of that rule is, but. And then this is where everybody gets in trouble. Where's that line? You know, and we've all done it, you know? So, and it's just like on 4th of July, everyone had the attitude, well, you know, it's not going to be me. It's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to be the one to start a fire. And so we all just went out and set off fucking fireworks. And it, so, yeah. But I don't know. Like, I think that there's a slippery slope there that you get on. And that's the thing, is people go too far down that slope, because there's a big difference between setting off fireworks in a context, you know, even, you know, like I said, like having a plan in the context where you can take care of it if something happens, but the odds
have your fire hose already strung out, turned on with the sprayer on, have a fire extinguisher nearby. Like, if you're gonna do it, just prepare for the worst.
But there's a difference between that, like doing that once, and like, you know what, I don't even care what the regulations are. I feel like my burn barrel is safe enough that I can just burn anything anytime and not really, like, that's, and then that's the guy, you know, that something eventually happens, and it's so fucking rare. Like, that's the thing. Like, how many people have gone out, you think they thought of that fucking idea? They saw that fucking idea on social media. Like, there's hundreds of couples that have gone out and set off some sort of smoke bomb in a field to reveal the gender of their kid. Mm-hmm. And none of them are setting off forest fires. Like the odds of it are so small, and that's where, you know, where people get in trouble, man. Because the odds are small, But if everyone's doing it, then the odds are bigger. So, and you can't do shit that you don't want other people to do. So that's called hypocrisy, but people like hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like saying you hate gays and being gay yourself.
That's usually what happens.
Oh man, dude, have you seen that game? That the show on Netflix? What is it? What the fuck is it called? It's on the history of video games, like Level Up.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. I saw the preview for it.
Yeah,
Looks
it's pretty good, man.
It's
It's pretty good. Yeah, the way that they do it, like it's not a sequential. It's kind of sequential, but it's not like, this is 1970 to 1975, and then it's like they look at, well, what came first? Well, it was Atari. So like the first show is on Atari, and basically kind of follows the arc of Atari towards like where Nintendo started to take over the scene. Well, but then they look at Nintendo, and Nintendo was originally founded in the late 1800s as a Japanese playing card company.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and so then the arc of Nintendo, and then they looked at computers, and specifically how computers ushered in the era of the role-playing game. And then just like, that whole idea. And so, yeah, the next one's on Sega. And so, yeah, it's good the way that they're doing it, like going through it. But like, I like the way that they're looking at the different like genres, like the different pieces, instead of it being like this history where you're like, in this year Nintendo did this and Atari did this and computer games did this, and it's like, no, I like how they're tracing the history of each thing in the industry's arc, and they overlap some, but it's cool to like really dig into like where these things came from. Like the term avatar, we take that for granted, but that was created. It started to be used in video games at a specific time. There was I think it was the Ultimate games, and the first three, and they were some of the first original role-playing games, and there was no moral side. Again, like we take this shit for granted, right? Like if you play a role-playing game today, like you just take it for granted that how you act is going to impact the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you kill the shopkeeper, he's not going to be there later to sell something to you. Or if you're, an asshole, like it's going to affect things in the game. You can't be amoral and expect to have the game just unfold the same way. But it wasn't always like that. And so this guy was creating these games and thinking that people were going in, and because he was a dungeon master. He was into Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. And so his idea was, I'm creating, this is like an online dungeon master thing. So people are going to come in and bring their best selves, because in a dungeon master game, hey, if you kill the shopkeeper, well, guess what? He's not going to be there next time. Like, it's just kind of, again, like built into how that goes. And he didn't realize that, like, if people have the choice, they don't give a fuck. They're just going to act amoral as shit. They're going to kill everyone, rob the shop, like just do whatever to finish the game as quickly and easily as possible. And so he was bothered by that. He was like, this isn't what I wanted to do. And so the Ultimate 3 or 4 that he came out with, that was the first game, and he was looking for a term to use. And Avatar is actually from Hindu, I guess, mythology or whatever. But the definition is, it is a earthly incarnation of a god. And so the idea was like, this is great, because like, your character in this game is supposed to be an incarnation of you. Like you're, and so it carries some moral weight how your character in the game acts, because you're getting to create this character, and you get to name him and create these things. So you're creating yourself. And that's where the term avatar came in, and he started using that specifically because that was supposed to be the thing. Like your game, the person in the game is supposed to be a digital representation of you. And so again, it's a term that we take for granted now, but like it had a specific moment in time when it entered the lexicon, and that's what it meant. And so like your online person is supposed to represent like you on some level. So it's interesting.
That is interesting. I didn't know that's where it came from. I just took it for granted. When you were a kid playing some of those role-playing games, well, I guess kid, probably later, like into your teens, because the games got more advanced. I wonder if you did. I used to a lot of times. like I would have different characters. Like, oh, what mood am I in today? So I'd have like my main character where I like would try to do everything as good as possible, get all the points, find all the hidden treasures, complete all the missions. Well, then I would have another character that I would open up and play sometimes where I would just be like destructo mode, where I would just, like you say, kill the shopkeeper, rob everything, just kill everything, not give a shit about any of the missions or anything, and just be destructo mode. I would usually have like a couple different characters I would play.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what mood am I in today? Do I want to accomplish some shit, or do I want to destroy some shit?
That's funny. No, I never had
Didn't
that.
you?
I always wanted to accomplish shit. That was pretty much my. That's. Yeah, and I had to do it perfect. Mm-hmm. So you had to find the right. Man, I still remember, man. The first one I remember was called Dragon Warrior, I think, and then Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Dragon Warrior came out like a little before that, and it was very similar gameplay. But yeah, Final Fantasy is the one that everyone remembers. Like that was the one that just really like it was so. Again, you take all this shit for granted, but at the time. Do I get to name my character? I get to pick what my party is. I can have like warrior or black mage or white mage or red mage or the fucking ninja or whatever, and they each have their different powers. And if you don't set up your party correctly, like you can get fucked over. And yeah, it was such a you got sucked into the world. Like you really felt like, oh dude, I'm there, and you're thinking about it. Like, dude, how do I get past that dungeon, or what do I do there? And it was different than even like Legend of Zelda, which came after that, I think.
No, I think it was before, wasn't it?
Think so?
I think so. If I had to look at the timeline.
I think it came, it was around there, but it was, but even, Zelda had a little bit of that role-playing element, because, you could kind of go where you wanted and do things in different order, but you were still like, oh no, you're Link, and this is your story, and, so, yeah, it's cool, man. Video games they're awesome. Like looking at it, I don't know that, like today's good, like video games are great, but just experiencing everything from ColecoVision.
Yeah, dude, we had that as a kid.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. ColecoVision and Atari.
Yeah.
To arcades. Like, dude, arcades used to be fucking awesome.
Yep.
Like, that'd be the reason to go to the mall. It's like every mall would have a fucking arcade.
Aladdin's Castle. Dude.
That
was the name of the one at our mall.
Yes, that was the one. That was one, and we had one of those in Ardmore. It was across from the pizza shop, and so you'd go order pizza, and while you're waiting for it, parents would give you, $1 or $2, go play some games, and then Nintendo, and just that whole. Seeing video games go and how they grew and experiencing all of it. And then, where they're at today, like I said, it's great, man. The games are great, but how can you appreciate it the same way as if you didn't play ColecoVision? Like, if this is all you know, right? It's just, this is what video games are. And it's like, man, you don't remember. Like, Zelda came along, that was the first time you didn't have to remember, like, a 20-digit code to try to continue your game. Remember that? If you want to try to continue, they're like, dude, I better write this motherfucking thing down, right? Oh, God, how mad you get when you try to enter it back in and it wouldn't take it. And you're like,
I wrote it down wrong.
It was that Metal Gear, man. I think that
Metal
was
Gear Solid.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid was one of those that you had to get the code just right. God, that game was hard as fuck. But, yeah, good times. Video games were good, and of course your parents are telling you you're rotting your brain and all that stuff, but you're learning good skills. Of course, we were balancing it out, man. We were physically active as hell, and that's the other thing too, man. Like, I mean, I play video games by myself, but I play video games with my friends a lot. Like in the same room, passing controllers off, like Street Fighter and shit like that, or basketball games or Madden or whatever. So it was a different thing, it was like. Playing with your friends in the same room is completely different than playing online with people. It's not the same thing as we're learning from all this virtual living that people are being forced to do right now. But, so yeah, our experience with video games was totally different than what kids are today. I mean, they're fucking phone. Imagine just being able to pull your god brain out of your fucking... It'd be like the equivalence of our fucking the Game Boy, right?
Yep.
Like the Game Boy, and you could just download instantly any fucking game, and they're constantly coming out with new games all the time. Like,
It's crazy to think about.
it's crazy to think about. That's not the world we lived in.
You know, if somebody had told me that when I was 10 years old, going on a family road trip with my Game Boy, and the first Game Boy wasn't even backlit, so you had to have you had to have a light.
I remember the light that came over the top. Yeah,
you had to have a light that hooked on the top, and then you had to bring your case full of games, your little cartridges, then you drop in the crack of the seat, and you're like, fuck.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, if somebody would have told me that, I'd have been like, that's awesome. That sounds awesome. But I don't know that it is.
Yeah.
I like it's like everything else, man. Content, it's easier to get it out there, but with that comes a lot of shit. Like, not everything is as good, and it can be harder to find the good stuff. Like, there's so many games out there now that I don't even bother. It's so hard for me to keep track of, like, well, what is a good game?
Mm-hmm.
They're not all good. They're just pumping out games all the time. And I don't want to waste my time on a shitty game. I just don't have enough time to play video games. So that's why I wait like 5 years and buy used games that were like, oh, okay, I know, man. That game they said it was the shit, and it's, people still think it's the shit now. So, or, like a good game. Like, what am I playing now? Red Dead Redemption again?
Nice. I never got into that. I played it a few times at my brother's house.
Yeah.
It's fun. I never bought it.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto on a fucking horse, man.
Yeah, really. That's what it is.
Yeah. Super fun. That's another one where you can just choose, like, how do I want to feel today?
You don't want to
just shoot everyone up.
I know, it's funny. I was playing my brother's character while he was busy working one time, and I was just, like, fucking shit up. He's like, dude, what are you doing? I got to undo. He's like, here, let me build you your own character. He's like, yes, play this.
Because it does matter, man. Your honor drops, and then people won't talk to you, and you get fucking the posse coming after you. And
I was constantly fucking jacking stagecoaches and shit. Just causing debauchery.
Dude, it's fun to do. Yeah. that was I guess Grand Theft Auto, that was probably the game that really introduced me to the fun, to what you're talking about, where I would sit down and I'd be like, what mood am I in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I want to try and accomplish something, or do I just want to fuck shit up? Do I want to steal a car and listen to K-Jaw and try and get fucking 5 stars of police chasing me so I can try and get away from a tank?
Yeah.
Or you could jack the Apache. They had the Apache helicopter in that. You could jack that. You could jack a tank every once in a while. You had to shoot that motherfucker just right through the little slit in the tank. So, way too many hours on that one. But that was another one, man. People just take for granted. That was just a mind-bending game at the time. So, anyways. What do we got? No,
Did you see Seth is we're gonna be having a jiu-jitsu tournament here in October.
I'm thinking of doing it.
I think we should.
I think we should. Just if nothing else, to just support it.
Yeah, exactly. Just support. That's kind of my thought. Like, man, it's almost like our version of basically protesting. Just to prove, like, hey, listen, shit, this things aren't as bad as they say they are. Like, we can go have a jiu-jitsu tournament and everybody's gonna be just fucking fine.
Right.
Like, let's prove to the world that we can do it. That's more my thought on it. He's like, yeah, so I'm glad he's got the balls to do it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, no, I'm if the weather permits, like, I'd like to do it. Mm-hmm. And that's always the
this time of year.
Time of year, man, that's always the caveat, because I'm not going to put my life at risk.
Drive over the mountains in a snowstorm.
No, I've done that one too many times. For stupid reasons. They're all stupid reasons. Nothing's worth your fucking life on Vail Pass. But yeah, no, because that's the first open jiu-jitsu tournament since all this shit hit.
Yep.
Like, he's been having, like, they've had pro cards and shows and stuff, but as far as, like, hey, man, just come and register and we're going to build a bracket and we're going to fucking wrestle. Because Pan Am's is supposed to be, like, it's before Pan, so it's going to be the first jiu-jitsu tournament back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it'd be kind of cool to say we fucking wrestled in it.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards it. I think I'm gonna wait until like the week goes, so you got a good idea what the weather's gonna be like, and kind of assess it from there. Like, okay.
Yeah. Dude, I'm fucked on the weight classes though, because it's like I'm right in between, and the weight classes are like 20 fucking pounds or something like that. So it's like 160 to 180.
180. Yeah.
I'm 170.
Well, once in you know, not me being a black belt, there's not a ton of black belts. So lots of times they just put, it basically just ends up turning into 170 and under.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no, there's no old man division. It's just 170 and under, you know, black belts, and then 170 and over, 171 and over. I think it's usually how it's all split up. And it usually ends up being like black and brown.
Yeah.
Because there's just not as many of us. So,
Yep.
It's just how it goes when you go to a more of a local tournament.
It's all right, man. It's more for the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to make a name for myself.
Exactly.
I don't think
It's just a good hard training session.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
It's a little bit more than that.
A little bit, but not much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it is a little more mentally stressful situation, and that's one of the reasons it's good to put yourself in it.
Right.
Like, I'm excited. I want to do it to test the whole Wim Hof breathing shit beforehand. Like, see if it makes a difference doing that like half an hour to an hour before I'm supposed to start. That's the trick,
That's
man.
the tough part.
That's the tough part is timing that out right. But yeah, it'll be fun. So, actually, I don't know if I told you I signed up for the Oxygen Advantage certification.
I think you did.
Yeah. So, digging into that. I'm going to do a little CO2 tolerance work and at Grumpy Guy today.
Nice.
So, it's kind of the cardio. It fits right in with the whole thing. It's cardio, and it's not easy, but it's not as physically stressful as, you know, normal cardio, like doing high intensity intervals.
Mm-hmm.
So, because a lot of it's just working on like breath holds, and so the intensity is coming from the breath holds, not just like working hard. And so by manipulating the breathing, you get the cardiovascular effect you're looking for. So it's like I said, we started doing a class on Thursdays before jiu-jitsu class. So 5:30 we'll do, you know, it's like a Grumpy Guy class, and then we'll have class from 6:30 to 7:30, and so we've been getting quite a few people, you know, coming in before class and doing it.
Nice.
And but yeah, that's what we did on Thursday. Everybody seemed to like it. It just goes along well, you know, the isometrics, and then do a little. It doesn't take long, you know. So, and then.
Ooh, have you noticed your water getting colder in the cold showers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to get colder up high. We're getting some snow. You know, it took. I'm not gonna lie, it took a fair amount of mental fortitude. You know, like Thursday night, I got home from work and I was out in the snow and rain most of the day, so it's, you know, chilly outside all day. And I said, nope, still got to do the cold. So I cranked that bitch all the way to cold, and I was like, oh, that water's getting colder now. It's a little bit different in summertime.
Yeah.
It's still not as cold as it's going to get, obviously, but it's cooling down.
It's cooling down.
It's cooling down.
I know. Sometimes that water's just not really cold at all.
It's not at all. But I noticed this week it's changing.
How's your ice baths? Are you doing those still?
I still don't have a super good system.
No.
Oh, thank you.
We're off to go see Shiloh.
You're off?
Yeah.
All right. See you, buddy.
Bye, Rob.
See you, dude.
I got a
Have
puppy
fun.
on my foot.
I will.
Uh-oh. Love you.
I love
There's
you.
bread in your car to give to Angela for Rue.
Okay.
Make
Cool,
sure he
thank you.
remembers.
I will remember. All right, see you.
See you guys.
So ice bath. Yeah, well, back to the water's just not cold enough yet.
No.
You know, so I got that stock tank. I got an ice machine, and so I can fit. I'll make like 45 pounds of ice is what I put in last time.
I say like 100.
Yeah,
you need
dude,
100
I know.
fucking pounds.
I know, dude. And that's like my chest freezer isn't big enough for my other food in there to store 100 pounds of ice.
It just sounds impractical to me.
It is. Well, once the water gets colder, 40 pounds of ice will cool it down enough. But right now, it's still not being. After this week, maybe I'll try it this weekend, see if it gets it cold. But I did it like 2 weekends ago or whatever. Did I try one last weekend? No, 2 weekends ago. And I was like, all right, it's been cooler up high in the higher elevations, you know. So let's see if the water cooled down. I didn't put a thermometer in there, but I put my water in there. I climbed in and then dumped 40 pounds of ice on me. And so, you know, in the tub. So initially it's a little cool, but then it just melts so fast.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that was a waste of 40 pounds of ice.
Yeah.
You know, so I got probably 30, 40 pounds of ice in my freezer right now. And maybe I'll try it again this week, see if the water's cooled off enough. But
Yeah, it seems fucking impractical.
Well,
As soon as they started saying you need 100 pounds of ice, it's like, what the fuck, man? That's
how are you going to... store 100 pounds of ice. And you're going to go to the gas station and buy 100 pounds of ice
Yeah,
every time you
people
go.
are. Dude, like that's the thing. Like there are people who are going out and dropping fucking like, you know, $20+ a day on ice. Or more. I don't know what the fuck 100 pounds of ice costs. And it adds up. They're trying to do like ice baths on a daily basis.
Nah, that's...
It's part of their budget. It's like, dude, I got a budget $800 a month for ice.
No, that's not happening.
I mean, I guess if you're getting some really great results from it or something, you know, it's like there's obviously a point where it is worth it.
Right.
But just for me, like, man, just turning the shower cold and just dealing with that.
If you're going to be that hardcore about it and want to do it that bad, there's going to be other solutions, like some sort of water chiller, you know, that you can hook up or, you know, something. If you're out, like we live out here in the fucking high desert where the water's so warm, yeah, you're going to have to get more advanced. And it's going to be expensive up front, but then you don't have to buy ice all the time. And it's going to be way more convenient.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to go that route, like you're going to have to, do a little bit of research. Okay, like I need this sort of filter, this sort of pump, this and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
blah, blah.
listening to Chuck McGee was telling me about his setup that he's got, and it's, you know, he's got a chest freezer that he's sealed up.
Yep.
And then, you know, then he's got like a vinyl bag in there, but he's got to keep like some, you know, chemicals in there and keep it working so the water doesn't get funky. And I mean, it's a process.
I looked at getting a chest freezer for that purpose.
Yeah.
And I may end up doing that. But even finding a chest freezer nowadays, because everybody went into this prepper mode with this pandemic, finding a chest freezer is almost impossible right now. And then they're jacking the prices up, so it's like, all right, let's just wait on that. Just wait for everything to simmer down and then pick one up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's probably one of the better ways to go, because you can just kind of seal up the seams, keep the water in there, keep your peroxide in there, or whatever, keep it.
Yeah.
Believe me, I read up on all this. And then when you want to prep, because you don't want to leave it just plugged in and it's going to turn into a big block of ice.
Right.
So you think, oh, I want to do an ice bath in the morning, plug it in. You could even set it up on a timer. So, hey, the timer kicks on at 2 a.m., gets it cold for me, so when I wake up, you know, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to put the thought into it, man.
You got to be dedicated to it.
You do.
So, I just got so many other things going on right now.
There's only so much I know, dude.
It's hard for me to fit in the ice baths.
It's fucking tough, dude. There's so much shit to do. You know, they're in the latest edition of the Outside magazine. You remember that? I'm sure you've seen that magazine.
Yeah.
I ended up with a subscription to that because something through work or something, I got a subscription to that for like $2. Like, I don't get subscriptions to magazines nowadays. It seems a little archaic, but I was like, fuck it, $2.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll get a magazine sent to my house. And actually, this month they had a. I didn't realize. I was just looking at it last night. It said some Wim Hof. I was like, oh, there's an article about Wim Hof in here. But it was the same old Wim Hof article, to where journalists followed him around. He jumped into ice cold rivers. The journalist was like, oh, this is great. You know, they talked about the study he did at the university where they put the virus into him and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like, there was nothing new. Like, I was a little bummed. I was like, oh, this would be kind of cool. I was like, okay. I was like, read all this 100 times. It was not new information.
No, it is once you know a story. That's the thing. He's becoming like almost a little cliche in the media. So, which is, and it's good. More people are getting exposed to him. But yeah, like you said, like the original Scott Carney story.
Yep.
And then it's like, oh, that was the Vice News, the Iceman. That was what that was about. And it's
every article you read is the same thing.
like, oh, I went to disprove this guy, or I didn't think that it was real, and then I went and did it, and
he was meditating on a patch of ice, and he got up, and it was an imprint, indent from where he was sitting, and the body he generated. I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's good, man. I mean, he can do that shit. Dude, his certification is like $3,500. Yeah, and you got to go do like a 5-day course somewhere to get it. So that'll be, if I get it, that'll be the last one. I'm like, I know why. Like, to be able to say like I teach the Wim Hof method, I totally understand. To attach his name to what I do has value, and like, yeah, I can see, but like what he's doing, besides chewing on my door like a dog. He's an annoying fucking puppy. What he's doing is not proprietary.
Right.
Even like the XPT certification talks about, the power breathing and the fire breath and, You know, their pregame warm-up is basically the Wim Hof thing. It's like 30 super ventilation breaths, max hold on the exhale, you know, hold on the inhale, times 3 rounds. It's like...
Oh, that sounds just like Wim Hof.
Fucking just like Wim Hof. And, dude, the other thing is that it's so readily available. You know, because like you can just go online. I mean, you got the app, you got all these videos. So it's like, you know, what is besides his name, what's the proprietary thing about what he's doing? And it really is none. You know, so like those breathing methods and stuff are, and he'll even tell you. I mean, Wim Hof never claimed to invent these breathing methods. Like he learned them and he's used it, but he's the one who's just used them in a way that's really brought to light in modern society what these things can do. And so, but anyways, my point is like, that's why it's like, if I do it, then it's going to be the last one because it is so fucking expensive. You know, if I'm not putting his name, like saying, oh, James Wilson, Wim Hof teacher, but I can still teach people like, man, this is the basic thing, you know, 30 super ventilation breaths, max hold on the exhale, 3 to 4 rounds. You know, like that is basically the Tumo or Wim Hof style breathing. So, you know, once you kind of, I've learned that, you know, and gotten some education in it from these other sources. So, he said it's kind of hard for me to go like, okay, I'm gonna go drop $3,500 just so I can start using his name when I can really, I feel confident to teach what the method that he's using, and probably it's like. That's the thing I was telling Kelly. Like, they're not worried about me. They're worried about... Because I'm good. I coach, right? Because I was like, are you going to tell me that someone's going to be better off just downloading the Wim Hof app and listening to that and following it to him than they would having me kind of show them and explain things a little bit and answer some questions? I don't think that is the case. But there are certainly people out there that aren't good coaches and don't understand how to... I don't know, can put people in bad situations. And so like, yeah, you don't want people like that. So you do want to kind of discourage that, but yeah, like, man, they're really better off going online and finding a video. I mean, there's fucking Wim Hof methods everywhere. The teachers are putting out videos. So, you know, hey, I can show people the same thing. It's part of the overall thing. Like that's the thing with the breath work. Like I still think the Wim Hof method is great. But really, it's part of the picture. It's better to have part of the picture than none of the picture, but it's still just part of the picture. Like the other half is like that oxygen advantage, the CO2 tolerance, just, you know, decreasing your breathing rate, you know, really focusing on nasal breathing. Like that half of it is important as well. But so taken together, they're fucking. It's really good. So.
On a class note, I'm taking my first defensive handgun tactics class next weekend.
Yeah.
Well, when this episode comes out, I'll have completed it already because this won't come out for like 2 weeks. Because we just came out with an episode yesterday. Yeah. And we're recording ahead because I'll be gone next weekend. So so by the time you guys hear this, I'll basically be like a commando. I'll be like a Navy SEAL being recruited by the government for secret operations. Maybe not quite that yet.
Maybe not quite
Maybe
that.
Not, but in my mind, that's what's going to happen.
Contra. You'll be recruited by foreign governments to fucking help overthrow rebels and foreign governments.
Very possible.
So there you go.
And I convinced, I'm doing Tim Kennedy's sheepdog response. Like, that's not till May. Yeah. This one I was called Defenders USA. It's here in town. And Nate's going to do it with me, too.
Oh, cool.
He signed up, did the sheepdog one. And he was didn't sign up for this one yet. He had to kind of scheduling thing and talk to his wife. And he hit me up yesterday. He's like, I signed up. Now I just got to make sure I have enough ammo. He's like, I can't. Then he's like, I can't find enough ammo. I was like, well, go to gunbroker.com. You know, it's like eBay for guns and ammo. Yeah. I was like, you might be able to find some decent prices. I was like, you can definitely find ammo there, but it's going to be expensive. Yeah. But you might be able to find some decent prices.
Fuck, dude. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So next week, dude, I'll be putting 1,000 rounds through that gun and getting some practice, boy.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'm excited.
Nice. Yeah. I'll have to still get one. You can show me some shit.
Yeah.
When you get one. Like, hold it like this, not like that.
You gotta hold it sideways like a gangbanger.
Exactly.
That is the approved method.
Can I hold my gun like this, Chief?
Yes,
It makes me feel badass.
You gotta hold it sideways.
It's fucking funny, man.
All right. Well,
Yeah. I know. Gotta fucking get going to
go
Grumpy
train.
Guy here, yeah. Where are we at here? Gotta go eat some bread.
Yep. Let's go eat, train.
It's
And
long.
yeah,
Long jiu-jitsu day.
a long jiu-jitsu day.
Well, Ken's got his buddy from the Front Range in town, the blue belt that he went over there and visited a few weeks back. So yeah, he was in last night rolling. Of course, he's another giant dude.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is he a big gorilla like Ken?
He's a fucking big dude. It's I can't get away from these guys. But man, it is funny. I mentioned this to you before because I got Ken, he's a big dude. Adam, he's even fucking bigger
Jesus
than
Christ.
Ken.
Yeah.
And so, and those are the two main guys that I roll with at jiu-jitsu. Dude, I've gotten so good at smashing big guys. And there's a fucking art to it, man. And last night, twice. I mean, one time I got past Callum's guard. Callum's a big kid.
Dude, he's a giant kid. And he moves so good.
He moves so well. And I know, I roll with him enough to know, like, he has a few levels. He's got level 1 where he's not feeling threatened at all.
Yeah.
And he's got level 2 where he realizes, okay, if this continues this way,
right,
I might start to get in trouble. And then he's got level 3. I'm in trouble. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Okay. And you're not stopping. If he
When
goes to level 3,
to level 3, he's hard to fucking, yeah.
you're not stopping him, dude. He's
Yeah.
220 pounds. And
Dude,
if he wants
I
to
fucking
move,
put him back down last night. It was hilarious. I was waiting for it. I mean, I knew it was coming, and I was waiting for the timing. I'd gotten around his legs, and again, I can't explain exactly what I did, but just having rolled with those two fucking gorillas so much, like I was just anticipating it. I knew it was coming, and as soon as he went, I don't know. I was just in the right spot and fucking flattened him back down and finished the pass and had him, and he settled in. I was like laughing. I started laughing when he fucking went for it because I knew it was coming. And then he started laughing too because he was like, wow, doesn't hurt to try. But I was able to like put him back down and like settle in, which is not easy on that dude, man. It's probably the first time that I think I probably legitimately passed his guard.
Yeah.
Like when I know he was like, oh no, I don't want this to happen. Because like I said, it's usually when he goes into phase 3, it's he can create space.
it's funny.
At will.
I verbally insulted him. Like, so I got past his guard the other day, and I was trying to hold him down. I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, this is like wrestling a baby hippopotamus.
Yeah.
And he's like, he kind of chuckled. He's like, oh yeah, watch. And just like fucking stood up like Undertaker.
I'll weigh you by 15 pounds too.
Yeah, and he just fucking threw me, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, Jesus fuck. Like, there was no... I knew it was coming, and there was nothing I could have done to stop it. Like, there's nothing.
If he gets the leverage, and that was the thing, like dude. It was that one time, 99 times out of 100, I wouldn't have the position and the leverage, but it just worked out just right. And I thought back, I was like, dude, I know what he's about to do. I could feel like Adam trying to sit up on me, and I was like, just reacted that way and was able to win that one fucking battle. Of course, he got out of there on top eventually. So this is in no way like talking trash about Callum. It's more like it's like he's one of those dudes that when you do something good, you're like, oh, right on. Like, I'm getting better.
Especially if you know you legitimately got it. Like, if he didn't let you get it.
Yeah, dude. He's so fucking good that he's one of those measuring sticks. Like, all right. That was...
He said that to me. We slapped hands. He's like, oh, I didn't get to train with that visiting black belt that was here. There was a guy from Texas that came in like last weekend or something. And I was like, he's like, I was kind of bummed. I was like, dude, you would have fucked him up. And Callum's a purple belt.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I was like, yeah, he's fun. He's a good training partner. He was fun to roll with. I trained with him. I was like, dude, if you wanted to, you would have taken his lunch, no problem. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. I said, I'm not disparaging that black belt. I'm just like, Callum fucked me up.
Yeah.
He'll fuck me. Like, if we really like slap hands one at it, he's gonna fuck me up 10 out of 10 times.
Yes.
Dude,
the reason I was in that position is because he was in like just kind of phase 1 with me, because that's how he likes to roll. He likes to play
because he knows how good he is, and he knows how big he is, and so he'll be playful and let you work stuff. But and I'm not ignorant enough to know. I told him, I was like, yeah, dude, you would have fucked that black belt up.
Yeah, I didn't know. He just
kind of chuckled.
Yeah, good training partner, but it was him and that guy Colby last night too, because he's a big dude. And I got on top of him, and I same thing, man. I could feel him, and I knew, and I was able to anticipate. And I was like, dude, I'm so glad, like rolling with those big motherfuckers, because usually those are the guys you avoid.
It's dangerous, dude.
It can be, for sure. You know, if I mean, I'll admit, like if Adam and Ken were part of a large group, right, and I wasn't necessarily their coach or something like that, and we were just at open mat, they wouldn't be the first two guys I'm rolling with.
No.
And again, nothing against them. It's just like the big white belts.
Self-preservation.
Or self-preservation. Even just big guys in general can be tough to roll with. And so, you know, just being forced into that situation and having to learn to deal with it is like, oh, okay, I'm getting something from this. Because, at first I was like, fuck, I got a gym full of giants. And it was a little like, you know, what the fuck, man? Mm-hmm. But then it's like, oh, wait a minute, there's a good opportunity for me here. But... yeah, you can get something from everyone. Of course, that's what makes me want to like get them better, because the better they are,
the better you are,
the better I'm gonna get. And it's like now I'm you know, my stuff's gotten better because they've gotten better. Like now they can actually get the fuck out of mountain, get out of these positions if I don't do things just right. Mm-hmm. And so yeah. Anyways, it was funny rolling with big guys. Can be
there's benefit to it.
There is, man. There is.
You gotta know how to extract the juice.
Yep. Exactly. So, and it helps to have big guys that know how to roll.
Yeah.
Not just be fucking goons about it. So, all right, man. Anyways, on that note,
let's go train. See you.
Thank you for listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Thank you all for listening. You can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. It really does help and will allow us to keep putting out episodes. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, hit us up at grumpyguybjj@gmail.com. Also, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com, and get signed up for podcast updates and get our free BJJ Improvement Starter Kit. That's it for now, so get on the mat, train hard, and talk to you all next week. With a permanent rep, a hermit now, boom. Doggy stool, foggy, cool, got a froggy outside Molly dude. Melancholy Daisy Duke, hanging by the lace of their shoes. No trace of the tools, shaped into face, fuck the rules. Snooze, you lose. One eye always open, at times two, no clue. But soon a brief monsoon might give you a view to choose. Stay tuned, include, won't conclude. To the end is near, beware there's consequences for what you do. To me, demon, a devil of many levels, I keep on feeding for several of them rebels. Me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I.